It is an honor to share a story with you this evening about a child and a family whose lives were changed as a result of St. David's Center and our intervention and partnership during the critical early years of development. I am also honored to dedicate the telling of this story in loving memory of Rachel Roen, who was a St. David's Center board member from 2008 until this last November, when she passed away unexpectedly. Although we continue to grieve the loss of Rachel's presence in our daily lives, this dedication gives us the opportunity to celebrate her life, her impact, and the legacy that she leaves for us all. Rachel Roen made a profound impact on the lives of so many, her family, friends, and colleagues. As the community poured out their support for Rachel's family in the weeks after her death, their words rang so true. Rachel will always be remembered for her natural warmth, her authenticity, her wise leadership, her generous spirit, her kindness, and her humility. Rachel's connection to St. David's Center began in 2008. Her husband, David, shared with us that her passion to join St. David's Center's board came from a place of deep love and gratitude for her own two children, Madeline and Wilson, and from knowing that many families face challenges with their children that she could not even imagine. Out of this compassion and conviction, Rachel stepped onto our board and soon became a resolute champion for our leadership and staff, believing deeply in and trusting our knowledge and competence. She was an effective and impassioned ambassador of St. David's Center within Cargill and the broader community, speaking from her deep belief about the unique value of this organization. Rachel shared with us last year after attending several other nonprofit benefits. All of them are doing good work, but I am more and more convinced of the important role of St. David's Center in our community and in the life of each child and family. Rachel will be remembered for her wisdom, her humble and selfless leadership, and her commitment to families of children like Vincent, who you'll meet in tonight's story. Families that struggle as they face life's challenges, families that benefit from the skills and dedication of home visiting and early intervention staff. St. David's Center is extremely grateful to have had Rachel by our side at this critical moment in the organization's history. Her legacy will live on. She will be remembered and deeply missed. Now, Vincent's story.
He would just be tearing around. It didn't matter if he had sugar, it didn't matter how much TV he was watching. He would not settle down for naps. He would just be chattering, talking all the time. He'd be just very combative towards me. I just felt like I was yelling at Vince constantly, like, settle down, because I couldn't deal with it.
The group at the Y were kind of baffled by him. You know, he would swing from one end to the other. At times he was very volatile and aggressive, and at other times he was very flat and sad, and they were concerned that there really wasn't much of an in-between.
Family Place is an intensive early intervention program for kids who are struggling to manage their emotions and their behavior in healthy ways.
Finally, there's somebody there to help me, you know, because I really felt like there was nobody in my court. Nobody seemed like they understood what was going on, you know. Then I met St. David's, and they really were there helping me out.
I think that a lot of our families are underserved They might not necessarily know how or when to get help. Parenting is hard enough as it is, but when you have a parent who has a mental health issue, or a parent who's struggling with jobs, or a parent who's struggling to meet the basic needs of their child on a regular basis, parenting becomes even more difficult.
You made a butterfly.
So to have a place where parents can go and get that kind of support is hugely beneficial.
His father was bipolar, and he had a lot of seizures at that time, so that was just a nightmare.
Certainly when he started Family Place, being in a small group was incredibly helpful for him in that he got to practice those things in a safe setting with adults that were supportive and with peers who maybe he could relate to a little bit better.
I smile when I think of Vincent.
It's been a long time since I've seen you. It's so good to see you. You did a nice job on that door.
I think he had a lot of anxiety and regulation issues where his little motor was going on overdrive a lot of the time. He couldn't regulate himself very well physically. I think the home visiting piece plays a really important role too.
And make it tower.
Sounds like you have a good plan. We get a better understanding of who that child is because we see their home environment.
I could eat the whole bag.
We also get a better understanding of what parents are coping with because a child may look a little bit different at home. Their behaviors may be more intense, less intense.
To have a mental health professional and a mental health practitioner go out weekly to the home.
Did you get it? Is it a treasure?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
To provide a bridge of communication, to help teach and enhance some of the skills that we've been teaching at school. The more often a child has those skills reinforced and in the more different places, the more successful they're going to be. We really get integrated with our families and connected.
Nice.
Yes.
He was just always there with me and Vince. It was just incredible. Every time I picked up the phone, they were always there to answer any questions I had. I mean, they were just, that extended family. They were just always there willing to help, give an answer, and if they didn't have the answer, they were always trying to find it out. He went manic the very last year that he was living here, and that just really influenced Vince. And it became a real nightmare, and I just said, I can't have Vince seeing this.
I think Vincent had been in the program for about 8 months when his dad died suddenly. I think for a 5-year-old, the idea of death is a difficult concept.
When his father died, I mean, they came out here with a book for Vince about, life and death and whatnot, and I just remember them coming and hugging Vince, but I also remember them coming and hugging me too, like, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Tanya and his grandparents were amazing during that time too.
It's gonna go down around on the floor.
With a bridge.
I think even in their own grief and loss,
I'll show you.
they kept Vincent in the forefront.
I think the first thing was to make sure he was okay. So I don't think I thought too much about it at the time.
But it's hard to think what a 4-year-old thinks when somebody dies.
Yeah. I think they helped him a lot. They're the teachers. We knew it was a good place for him.
Matt just passed away, and I remember Vince just learning how to ride his bike, and he was just so bummed out that he did not have anybody to share that experience with. And I remember saying, you know what, Jane's gonna be here. Let's go around the block with Jane. And I remember she's like, I really wanna see that. And I remember going around the block, and Vince was just the most happiest little boy, like, yes, I get to show Jane.
Got that part good? We want to help as much as we can because we love him dearly, and it's fun to have him in our life. He's, part of our son. So every time I look at him, I think of mine, which is kind of cool.
I hope he's going to be the next Wayne Gretzky, but Doing awesome, bud. He's only been going now a couple of months, but he's just, I have to say, he's one of the better skaters out there. He is passing all of his subjects because he goes to full-day kindergarten. and he was passing everything, and I'm like, yes. He seems to hold friends really good. He loves his friends, and he seems like he can hold boundaries pretty good.
I really saw that he started to use adults more appropriately. He began to show that he wanted to be with kids, not just wanted to be with kids, but really worked at how to be with peers. When you see a family like Vincent's, who has faced such huge adversities and challenges in their life, and they reached out and accepted help and really utilized St. David's to the best of their ability. Without the support from St. David's, I'm not quite sure how successful Vincent would have been.
I just look at Vince and just see how much he's just overcome so much. And I just think, wow, if it wasn't for them, I don't know where I'd be at.
I pictured all of the staff at St. David's who had worked with him, and I pictured Tanya, and I pictured his grandparents holding the safety net in a circle and sort of catching Vincent in this safety net. And you know, I know this terrible thing had happened for Vincent. And we couldn't stop that, we couldn't prevent that, but we could help ease the fall and soften that for him. I think everybody that knew Vincent at St. David's, everybody that worked with him, really had a special place in their heart for him.